Okay, so this is going to be a tricky question because we have the absolute values. So as we dive into this question, the first order of business is to deal with the absolute value. So step one, and I'll say remove the absolute values. You want them out of there correctly. Now, let's talk about what it is. Well, here's how you do it. The absolute value of the inside of a function is the positive with parentheses now. Notice I changed to parentheses inside. Here, I'll do this with emphasis. Boom, these are parentheses. Um, when the inside is positive and it's negative parenthesis of the inside when, oops, gotta spell that right there. The inside is negative. Now, I know that can probably be a little confusing. Um, but let me show you. Think about it. If you have the absolute value of something like whatever, 2, that's just 2, right? It's just plus 2. It just leaves it alone because the inside was positive. What does it do if you put a negative? Now you might say, well, it makes it positive. Yeah, but how does it do that? It does it by putting another negative in the front. Do you see that? Just think about that for a second. If the inside is positive, it just leaves it positive. If the inside is negative, it puts another negative on the negative, and two negatives make it positive. Either way, it's positive in the end, yes, but it either puts a positive on the front or it puts another negative. If the inside is negative, it puts another negative. So that's what I'm saying here. What does it do? It puts a positive on the front when the inside's positive, or it puts another negative on the front if the inside is negative, making this altogether positive. You see? Both these are positive in the end because this one already was positive, so just plus a plus is positive. This one was negative, inside negative, so another negative makes it positive. Two negatives positive. Okay, so that's what you have to do. So I'm going to take that absolute value, 7x minus 14, in the first case, the limit as x goes to, getting it all scribbly here. Let me just grab this first one. Limit as x goes to 2 from the left of the absolute value, 7x minus 14 over 6. Sorry, I'm getting kind of messy. Over 6 minus 3x. So the first step is to get rid of those absolute values. So limit x goes to 2 from the left. Now remember, this means from the left. Like on a number line, there's 2 right here. Numbers to the left are like 1.9. Numbers to the right are like 2.1. This is the left of 2. This is the right of 2. That negative sign means left. So it's a number like 1.9. So just put in 1.9 real quick. What are you going to get there? Let's put in 1.9. Multiply this out in your calculator. 7 times 1.9 minus 14. You'll get, what do you get? 7, 13.3 minus 7. You're going to get minus zero point 0.7. My point is, you're going to get a negative number. The inside is negative. What do we do when the inside is negative? When the inside is negative, you put a minus in the front. So this is going to be minus parenthesis 7x minus 14 over the denominator, which hasn't changed, of 6 minus 3x. Do you see what happened there? That's the crucial step that confuses people. Why did I put this? Notice I removed the absolute. Step one is to remove the absolute values. So I removed these absolute values. They're parentheses now. There's no longer an absolute value. And I put a minus in the front. Why? Because the inside was negative. How did I know? This is saying the limit as x goes to 2 from the left of 2, a little smaller than 2, like 1.9. So I plugged in right there for x 1.9, hit the buttons on my calculator. 7 times 1.9 minus 14 got negative zero point 0.7. So what is that absolute value going to do to negative zero point 0.7? It's going to put another negative in the front to make it negative, negative, positive. That's what I'm saying. That's what absolute value signs do when the inside is negative. So it'll become that. Now let's do the other one. And it'll be the opposite. You'll see. We grab this one now, bring it down, limit, get a little more room here. So the limit as x goes to 2. No, we're not done. We're not done with either one yet, but I just want to do this first step for both. X goes to 2 from the right of over here. Absolute value, 7x minus 14 over 6 minus 3x. So it's the same thing, but this time, here, let me put a little separation so we can see that. Well, that didn't work. Never mind, whatever. So now this is from the right to plus, right? To the right, that'd be over here like 2.1. So if you put in 2.1 there for x, hit the buttons in your calculator, you get 14.7 minus 14. You're going to get this all will become positive zero point 0.7 in there. You check it on your calculator if you want. So the inside now is positive. So what does that mean? The absolute values are going to do? They're just going to, I got to put the limit in the front again first. They're just going to leave it alone and put a plus sign in the front. So it's going to become plus parenthesis 7x minus 14 over 6 minus 3x. Do you see that? Do you see how this one's got a plus, that one's got a minus? We're going to finish them both, but that's the first step for both of them, and it's opposite. That's the most, but the rest is easy after this. Well, pretty easy. Do you see why I put a minus? Notice I removed the absolute. The absolute values were here, they were here. Now it's just parentheses. Now it's just parentheses. So I removed the absolute values for both of them. How so? According to whether the inside was positive or negative, right? Because that's what absolute value, look back up here. If the inside's positive, just leaves it alone. If the inside's negative, it puts another minus in the front. So the two minuses become positive. That's how absolute value makes things positive. So then you got to plug in. For this one, 2 to the left, that'd be like 1.9, something less than 2. Plug it in. This is the inside's negative, so you got to put a minus in front. And then get rid of the absolute values. They've done their job. They've made it positive. Right here, absolute value, 2 to the right, right of 2, so something bigger than 2, like 2.1, plug that in, you're going to get positive 0.7. The inside's positive, so it just stays positive. Again, remove the absolute values. Now, how do we finish both these? Well, to finish these, actually, I could just do it. In fact, let me just do it right here just to save effort, I think. The rest is pretty straight ahead. I'm going to, first off, flip this around. Minus 3x plus 6. Minus 3x. Why? I like to have x's in the front. It's just easier for factoring. I'm about to factor. And notice when I change their order, their signs go with them. That minus is on the 3x. It's still on the 3x. What's in front of the 6? There was never anything in front of the 6, so it's been positive all along. Is that making good sense? I just changed the order. You can switch the order anytime you want, as long as you take their signs with them, right? Think about numbers like 3 minus 2. That's the same as negative 2 plus 3. It's 1 either way you do it, isn't it? Right? Just think about numbers. Same thing. The minus 2, the minus 2, the plus 3, the plus 3. It doesn't matter what order, as long as you keep the same signs. So now why would I want to do that? I like having x's in the front. It's going to make these guys easier to factor. So on the bottom, I can take out a minus 3, and that's going to leave x actually minus 2. Do you see how that's correct? Because minus 3 times x be minus 3x, and minus 3 times minus 2 go back to plus 6. Huh? Now on the top, what are you going to do here? I'm going to take out that 7. That'll leave x minus 2, like that. So, well, you know what I should do? That one, yeah, I'm probably being too quick here. Let's just bring these guys down. I know that I can see where that's going to be confusing for you. Let's grab this one. Bring it right over here. Okay, so minus Here, let me go a little slow. Okay. So let's distribute that minus. I think that'll make it more sensible for you. I just right because that minus sign in the front of a parenthesis, like anything in front of a parenthesis, distributes, right? Okay, now we'll factor. How do you factor this top up here? Well, take out the minus 7. So that leaves x minus 2, actually. Do you see that? Because minus 7 times x, minus 7x, minus 7 times minus 2, plus 14. On the bottom, take out the minus 3. That leaves x minus 2, again, because minus 3x plus 6. Okay, now, why do we do all that? Because now these cancel. And so our answer is just minus 7 over minus 3. Two negatives cancel 7/3. That's our answer to the first part right there. Let's now do the second part. So I'm going to grab this one, yeah, and bring him on down here. This time I will put a wall of separation. And let's do the second part. So now it's the limit. So this goes to 2 to the right. And this we have plus 7x minus 14. Let's always get those too close. Over minus 3x plus 6. So again, we're going to factor. And the top, we're just going to take out a 7. See, the top, we don't have to, you can distribute the plus sign if you want, but it doesn't change anything, right? So just take out the 7 on the bottom, take out the minus 3. See how that's correct? Because minus 3x plus 6, that's right. And again, the same kind of thing, x minus 2's cancel. So our answer to this part is 7 over minus 3. You could put that minus in the top if you want, or you could put it in the front. You know, it's all the same. When a negative is on a fraction, it doesn't matter top, bottom, front. It's all the same. Put it in the bottom, put it in the top, put it in the front. The homework question knows they're all the same. It'll take any of them. So there's our two answers. The first answer is positive 7/3. Second answer is minus 7/3, wherever you want to put the minus. That's the difference. So how'd that happen? One more time. Let's recap real quick. The main trick on this one is the absolute values. How do you have to get rid of absolute values. You have to get them out of there. And how do you correctly get them out of there? We'll just think what absolute values do. If the inside's positive, it just puts a plus in front. Doesn't do anything else. If the inside's negative, it sticks another negative, and then two negatives make a positive. That's how absolute values make things positive. So you've got to, whenever you've got absolute values, this is going to be with this several times this semester, especially here in this first chapter too. Whenever you got absolute value, you got to look at the inside and find out if the inside's positive or negative. If it's positive, it's just going to put a plus in the front. If it's negative, it's going to put another minus in the front. So the two minuses are plus. And so how do you do that? Well, you look at what it says. We're going to 2 from the left of 2, which is like 1.9. I put in 1.9, hit the buttons on my calculator. The inside's negative 0.7. So the inside's negative. So it's going to put a minus in front. And now it's just parentheses. We got rid of the absolute value sign. On the second one, 2 to the right of 2, which would be like 2.1, plug that in, is positive 0.7 on the inside. So it's just plus in the front. Again, parentheses now, no longer an absolute value. The rest is just factoring. And we get our two answers. So there we go.